everyone, and welcome to my podcast episode about my activism project for my Women's and Gender Studies capstone. So, my project was titled Right for Our Rights, and it was focused on reproductive justice and basically enacting a letter writing workshop that found representatives and wrote letters voicing our opposition to these abortion bans in South Carolina. So basically, before we get into it, I just have what we're going to get into. We have the introduction, a description of the problem, the literature review, methodology, a discussion of my findings, and a conclusion. So I am a woman. I'm pretty sure I have the ability to get pregnant. Yeah, this just affects me. It affects every woman. It affects everyone. Abortion bans affect everyone. They're completely intersectional. Abortion is intersectional. But Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022. Abortion bans have just been getting stricter across the country. South Carolina wants to get even stricter, which is weird because we rank 8th in the country for maternal mortality, which is not good. So yeah, let's get into that. We currently have the Fetal Heartbeat and Protection from Abortion Act. That's our 6-week abortion law signed in 2023. It requires you to get an ultrasound if you are pregnant. And there's also state mandated counseling. And it just makes it difficult to receive care. Abortion legislation makes it difficult as possible to receive abortion. There are 2 bills in the South Carolina State House right now. There's House Bill 3457, which is a total abortion ban. There's no exceptions for rape or incest, and it even makes it illegal to discuss abortion. And then there's House Bill 3537, which is the Prenatal Equal Protection Act. It's a fetal personhood bill. It changes the Constitution of South Carolina to say that humans include fetus at any stage of development. So if a woman was trying to seek an abortion, she could be arrested and charged with homicide. And one of 4 sentences you can get in South Carolina for homicide is the death penalty. So basically, it's to death for trying to seek an abortion in South Carolina. That's what they're trying to pass. Texas has a total abortion ban. It has an exception for the life of the mother. Those are very vague. It's Chapter 170A in the Texas state law that prohibits almost all abortions, even in rape or incest. Abortions are allowed to be performed if it's by a licensed physician, the pregnant person is at risk of death or major impairment of a bodily function, and if they can save the fetus, they must try to, unless it would put the person at risk of death or impair a major bodily function. So the World Population Review was looking at maternal death rates from 2018 to 2022, and Texas had 532 maternal deaths over those 5 years. The next state below that was Florida with 263. Compared with Vermont, which has no restrictions on abortion with 1 maternal death from 2018 to 2022. When I was looking at this, like trying to find data about abortion, like national statistics, there hasn't been any new data since 2022, which I find really interesting. There's I found the Fuller Project, which is like a website, like newsletter for women by women, and it was just like one page that was tracking abortion across the country. Even if there are exceptions for the life of the mother, that's not true. Abortion bans are killing women, and I don't want that to happen in South Carolina. I don't want that to happen anywhere. In 2015, Tulane University found that states with stricter abortion bans and states with restrictions on Medicaid for abortion had higher maternal mortality rates than states without. Another study was examining states who passed total or 6-week abortion bans in 2022. It found that there was a higher rate of infant mortality in both southern states, and there was a higher rate of infant mortality for Black infants in states with stricter abortion bans compared to states without abortion bans. So women and babies are dying without access to abortion. A major catalyst for this project is Jessica Valenti. She is an author and an activist from New York. She started her newsletter Abortion Every Day after Roe v. Wade was overturned. It's on Substack. It's really just keeping up with everything that's happening across the country because it's so much. She does an amazing job. It can be a lot. But I listened to her the audio version of her recent book, Abortion, Our Bodies, Their Lies, and the Truths We Use to Win. If you have Spotify Premium, you can get it included. You get 15 hours every month of listening. So it was really informative and sad. It was really hard to listen to, but it really put a fire under me to do this project. And abortion is so important. It reflects our bodily autonomy. And this book really does a good job of using an intersectional lens about how abortion not only does it hurt women, it hurts Black women. Black women have 2 times the maternal mortality rate of white women, which is crazy. I was looking at the Texas Department of Public Health or their maternal mortality rates, and for Black women in 2019 and 2020, it was over 20% of Black women would die from an embolism, which is a blood clot. Pretty preventable. I think Serena Williams. Jessica Valenti, she's also on TikTok. Her Substack, Abortion Every Day, audiobook, Abortion, Our Bodies, was so good and really just provided me with so much information. Just researching abortion, researching political participation. A study by Cootie found that criminalizing abortion increases the number of unsafe abortions, as well as abortion-related mortality and morbidity. Abortion was federally protected for almost 50 years in the United States. But some stats found that criminalizing abortion increases the number of unsafe abortions, obviously, and also abortion-related mortality and morbidity. Also, when you ban abortion, you can no longer research abortion. You can't look at statistics on people because they don't exist. Political participation is required for democracy, but I feel like since we're so capitalist individualist, we're not as united as we should be. I digress. So that was the point of this project, using political participation as a tool for community, but also hopefully to spark change. Yeah, a study in 2013 by Brundage found that letter writing is slightly more effective than signing petitions, but they're both powerful acts of participation. And I hope that my participants who helped me in this workshop feel like they did something, because they did, and they were awesome. I chose letter writing because I feel like it's more poignant. Hopefully someone read it. We're supposed to be living in a democracy, and it's constructed so that we have representatives that are supposed to listen to us. If we have a voice, we can use our voice. That's what I wanted to do. So I found the House Bill 3457, Human Life Protection Act, House Bill 3537, Prenatal Equal Protection Act, and then in the Senate 323, the Unborn Child Protection Act. This one kind of goes hand in hand with the 3457 Human Life Protection Act. They'll have similar bills in the Senate and the House, so they pass into law faster. And then I also included some bills about anti-trans, anti-DEI, just to make this more inclusive. I'm focused on abortion rights, but they're all equally important. That's all I could put on my plate right now. I found my representatives. I used the South Carolina State Gov website. My House representative is Carla Schusler, and my state senator is Luke A. Rankin. I hadn't written a letter in years. I had to meet with the librarian Lauren for a class. It was honestly great because Lauren gave me the awesome idea of starting a Linktree. So I did that. Right before this, I actually added a link, fuller report, which lets you track abortion bans, because I feel like that's the most important part. The next link I added was USA.gov to find elected officials. And then I added a link to the Women's Rights and Empowerment Network and their Act Now page, which takes you directly to a page where you can call or email your representatives about specific bills. And then the next link I did was to the South Carolina State House. The next one was to the Congress.gov website, so out-of-state students can find their state government website. Then the last 3 links, I included one for anti-LGBTQIA+ bills on AFA, because I wanted this to be inclusive. Then I also included democracy.io and GovTrack, which are more for the federal government, and I wasn't focused on that. There's so much information. Finding the bills, it was kind of hard, but I had access to other resources that were telling me about these harmful bills. Your state government website, it kind of gives off that they don't want you to know about these resources. I created a flyer, got approved from Coastal, a little seal, so I could hang them up. And then Dr. Ina printed them, and I just walked around and hung up 10 flyers across campus one evening. The first workshop was held Monday night on March 3rd during a Planned Parenthood Generation Action meeting. I'm the secretary. There were 9 attendees. I just kind of did the same thing I'm doing now. I talked about Jessica Valenti's book. I talked about the harmful bills, our representatives, how to find them, and I had paper, I had envelopes, I bought stamps, and we had some pens, and then we had all the good PPGA swag. I gave them the talking points. I provided them with like the addresses of the representatives. Yeah, it was really fun. I sent the letters out on following Wednesday from the post office on campus. And I did do a tabling event, but it flopped. I didn't have a tablecloth, and I think people weren't vibing with it, but it's okay. I just sat there and wrote 2 letters, one to Carla and one to Mr. Luke. I'm here with my friend Kira, and she came to my workshop on March 3rd, and I'm going to let her say a few things about my workshop.
So my name is Kira, and on March 3rd, I was invited to the Write for Our Rights event, where we were able to write letters to our local representatives in response to the threats against women's reproductive rights and the threats being made on the LGBTQIA community as well. It was very empowering to have that kind of space open for all of us and to be surrounded by people of like minds, and I'd love to be able to do that again.
Thank you, Kira. Bye. So I sent out 13 letters total. I have a flex, 9 of them from others. So I think I did something. I wanted to get 30. That's okay. Political participation is really hard. Young people do not want to participate in politics. I'm pretty political. I'm not going to reveal my political affiliation because it's none of your business. And I was awkward too at the thing. I should have advertised it. I didn't even say anything in the group chat. I didn't even send a picture of the flyer in our Planned Parenthood group chat because I was so stressed with everything else I have to do with all my other classes. I had a complete brain fart, and I just didn't send it out. And then I did send it out for the tabling event, but it flopped. But it's okay. It's a learning process. If I could do it again, I know what I did wrong and what I would do differently. I hope people know that abortion is like so necessary. Like it really does save lives. It really is needed. If you really care about children, like there are things that you can do for children who are already living that have nothing to do with pregnant women. Go teach children how to read. Go volunteer at a food pantry. I really love this project. I love learning about abortion, and not even like a weird way. I don't know. I think I just love like taboo things anyway. I had so much fun. I felt so connected to these people that participated. They were so awesome. They all rocked. This whole process was awesome. My only critique, I wish I was in a group. I hate group projects, but I'm only one person. I wish I had another person to help me. And I'm in another capstone. I'm in my psychology capstone, so it was a lot. But it was a really fun experience. I would love to do this again. I'm definitely going to do this again. I think I'm going to volunteer with the Palmetto State Abortion Fund. Abortion is awesome. We need it. It saves lives. If you don't have abortion, women and babies will die. Thank you for listening to my podcast episode. Please keep fighting for reproductive justice. Donate to the Palmetto State Abortion Fund. And spread love. Be obnoxious to your representatives. That's what they're there for. That's their job. Fuck you, Nancy Mace. Keep organizing. Never give up until the outcome you want is reached. Thank you. Have a good night.